on CTV3 News. Police move into the community of Libertad in Corozal to deter what is suspected to be a turf war. Hugo Casanova detained for questioning into the Saturday night murder of Curtis Usher. Jasmine Hartin pays a $75,000 fine in full after she is detained at the Corozal border yesterday. Police unable to charge her for false declaration. Muffles High School incorporates STEAM education into its curriculum. And another mural inaugurated in Orange Walk. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, June 7th, 2023.
And now, the hottest match of the evening. Get ready for action! Here they come. Amazing! They're unstoppable, unbeatable. They have them on the ropes. The heat rises to the top. 1, 2, and 3.
They're on fire! Chiladas!
Fire up the taste of Belize with the new Chiladas crunchy tortilla taco chips in its hot chili flavor. Fiery habanero brings the heat.
They're on fire! Chiladas!
From Snackers, done right, done here.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something that they could see and touch.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist. We created an ecological disaster.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Don't move.
Good evening. With your news, also simulcast on Face FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. CTV3 News has been following the gun violence that has erupted in the quiet village of Libertad in the Corozal district over the last few days. It all began on Saturday when Curtis Usher was gunned down with a high-caliber weapon. He was shot at several times while he and his 3-year-old son were on the family's veranda. Luckily, the toddler was only grazed on the head by one of the bullets. But by the time the gunfire ceased, Usher lay dead behind his house where he had run for shelter. In this particular case, we understand police have detained well-known Corozaleño Hugo Casanova for questioning. That detention took place yesterday around 1 p.m. after Casanova's house located in the village of Calcutta in Corozal was searched. Nothing incriminating was found. After remaining at the Corozal police station for a few hours, Casanova was transferred to Bamapan where he was questioned by the Major Crimes Unit. Since police consider Saturday night's murder as drug-related, Casanova was detained since he allegedly has business in the underworld, even though his attorney has refuted the allegation.
I don't need to speak of what it is alleged Hugo Casanova is involved in. I think the entire Corozal or the entire northern district could tell you about that. And for the attorney to say that every time something happens, Hugo is in custody, that again is not true. I can't recall the last time he was detained. Nonetheless, we are looking at a number of incidents in the northern districts where firearms have been used and persons have been killed. And certainly there is an issue in respect to the drug war in the north. As a department, we are working in tandem with the Belize Defense Force to see what we can do to stem these violence. And yes, as a part of that effort, all those persons who we believe are involved in the drug trade within the northern districts are being pursued by the police with a view for them to be interviewed and see what role or what part they are playing in what is happening in the northern districts. And so with that, it is nothing new. When something happens, it is the police duty to move in and investigate and to try to restore some sense of normalcy. If you go to the village of Libertad, you'll see that the people there are very uneasy and they expect that the security forces are going to do something to restore their sense of normalcy. And we are going to respond to the needs of the people in doing what we should to restore that sense of safety to the people of Libertad and by extension in northern districts.
Do you have information that factors from Mexico are in play in this drug war?
We are looking at every possibility. I can tell you definitively that what is happening in Libertad has to do with local suspected drug dealers or drug traffickers. And those are the persons we're focusing on. But at the same time, we're still looking at the possibility of outside element playing a part in what is taking place.
According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, the department is also concerned about the caliber of weapons that were utilized in both shootings.
It does raise concern, not just to me, but the entire nation. When we see shootings with .223 caliber rifles, it is a matter to be concerned about. And what we have done, again, as I said, is to put in place a composite patrol made up of police and BDF to patrol that area. At the same time, going after those persons who we know or we have reason to believe may be behind these shootings. And I want to appeal to the people of Libertad and the northern districts that while we work diligently to restore their sense of safety, that they too have a role to play. We cannot achieve our desired outcome alone. There must be that buy-in from the community as well as the information sharing, because they are the ones who knows the players within their respective communities and can share the information with the police confidentially with a view for us to be able to address the issue. And just as we have heard before, we have dealt with Dangriga, where one of the issues we had was that many of the officers in Dangriga were from Dangriga and were part of the problem there. We're getting the same from Corozal, where the information is from the citizenry that most of the police officers there are from Corozal and some of them may be compromised. And so we're also looking at shifting some of our people in the north and replacing them with fresh blood with a view to ensure that we can secure the trust and confidence of the people moving forward. How do we secure the confidence? If the public is saying that XYZ is compromised and they see that XYZ is moved out and someone new is brought in, that itself gives some breath of fresh air to the people, knowing that there is some new person there that they can go and speak to. Secondly, next Monday, I will be in Libertad along with the Northern Regional Commander and OC Corozal to do meet and greet within that community and see how we can communicate with the people and get their feel of what is happening. And may I say that I have been in Corozal since Sunday. I was there Sunday, I went again Monday, and I went back again yesterday to Corozal. And I'll be going back to Corozal again this evening. So I myself am spending a lot of time on the ground in Corozal working with the police officers there to try and get to the bottom of what is taking place. It is important.
And if we are looking at a turf war erupting in the north, the police are ready to do some damage control.
They do have persons in the north, just like other parts of the country, who are believed to be involved in the drug trade. And yes, we know that there is always that fight for who wants to be in control of the trade in the respective areas, and that could be one of the issues that we're seeing playing out in the north. As a department, like I said, we're doing what we can to get to the bottom of it and identify those persons who are responsible and deal with them. We have increased our presence tremendously in the northern districts with a view to see how we can quell the issues. And again, I cannot reiterate it enough, restoring that sense of security that the people rightly deserve.
And we're primarily talking and solely talking about cocaine.
It has to do with both cocaine and marijuana. You all would know that they do have the marijuana trade where drugs from Mexico, the hydro or the high-grade drugs, marijuana is brought into the country, and the local drug peddlers would get that and they sell, and then they pay back the persons from the Mexican side. So we're looking at both types of drugs.
What prompted the war? Because it was a bit quiet a few months ago. What prompted the war?
Like I said, at times there are issues in respect to who wants to be in control of the trade in the area, and that could be what prompts what is taking place now.
Of note is that Hugo Casanova was busted at the house of Carlos Cabañas Catsim in Chetumal, Mexico in 2013, where the Mexican Navy found a whopping $2 million worth of crystal meth. 3 years later, a judge found that there was insufficient evidence linking Casanova and Orange Joaquino Milin Vasquez, who was also at Catsim's home at the time of the raid, to the meth. Additionally, the judge ruled that the raid was carried out illegal because there was no warrant. Was Jasmine Hartin trying to leave Belize via the northern border yesterday without paying the $75,000 fine ordered by the court for the manslaughter of Superintendent Henry Jamot? Apparently, she was, but was stopped by immigration personnel after she was asked to provide evidence that she had indeed paid the $75,000 fine, which her PR team claimed was cleared in full over the weekend. When Hartin could not provide any documentation of that payment, she was detained despite the fact that she was traveling with a temporary Canadian travel document. She was escorted to the Corozal police station where she remained the entire night and was still there when we last checked the station at around 5 p.m. But today, Hartin is living a different story. Documents from the Treasury Department show that Hartin paid the $75,000 in full this morning. Despite the fact that she was not required to pay the fine in full in order to exit the country, Hartin needed to have some proof of payment to do so, and now with the receipt, her Canadian travel document, and with a letter from the Canadian consulate, she can do so and cannot be held by officers. Today, Hartin's attorney, O.J. Elrington, spoke to the media about what he coins as an unlawful detention, even when Hartin failed to inform him she intended to leave the country.
Were you aware that your client had the intention to leave the country yesterday?
No, I did not.
And what comes into play, or what came into play in relation to travel restrictions for her? Had those been removed?
The travel restrictions, the travel restrictions had been removed from the time she was sentenced. She had no travel restrictions, except for the fact that the registrar and the courts would have had her passport. Now, a passport does not mean that you cannot travel. The instructions are normally very clear on an order that you cannot leave the country, etc., etc. She did not have her passport, and my understanding is that she got a temporary permit from the Canadian government because she had some emergency matters that she had to deal with. Clients are not children of mine, so they don't need to communicate with me that they are leaving the country or that they're doing anything. It would obviously be advisable under the situation, but at the end of the day, there was no obligation for her to tell me that she was leaving the country, or any other person for that fact.
With Hartin's detention being described as unlawful through the eyes of her lawyer, GOB could be looking at another lawsuit.
That is an issue, and why when the media has been trying to contact me, I tried my best to ascertain from the police and from the immigration department why it is she is being detained. And they have yet to give me a response. In fact, the police officers And both immigration and police officers that I have spoken to have said they don't have any reason for detaining her. It is the other party who has her that says that they have her detained. So right now, it seems to me that the government of Belize is going to have a lawsuit on its hands.
For unlawful detention.
Obviously, I have it documented that I have requested the reason for her detention, and they have been unable to provide me a reason for her detention.
Is this like, I don't even think unfortunate turn of events would be the words to describe what has happened in this case.
You see, it has been almost 24 hours since my client has been detained. And since that moment, we have been trying, both myself and my entire office, to try to ascertain the reason for her detention. And they have not provided us with a reason as yet. In fact, I will add, Marisol, that normally when they hold somebody at the police station, they would have and say, even if it's a short description of the reason that they're being held, the police have immigration and they say they don't know.
They have the word immigration as the reason.
They just have immigration, yes. That it's supposedly immigration. Well, again, I can only go by what the officer in command of that precinct told me last night, and what every single police officer who I've spoken to over the last 24 hours has relayed to me, that they don't know why it is she is being detained.
According to Elrington, his client was unable to leave the country yesterday since she had not paid the $75,000 in full or had not even made a part payment. But Elrington is now in possession of Hartin's passport and she can leave the country.
There was no delay. There was no payment delay, really and truly. I can't say. I think that the courts facilitated the process that as anybody knows, that when the banks receive payments, it normally takes a few days for it to be processed. It was processed and the payment was made. Belize is her home, so she has no intentions to be anywhere else. Belize is her home. Just like every other person, it's no different, Marisol, than every other person who gets any type of sentence for any fine for any reason before the court. They can leave the country, and that's a real possibility, of course. But people will not leave the country if they have their entire investment and everything is made in Belize. If you have millions of dollars invested in Belize, would you leave Belize because they are saying to you, you have 300 hours of community service? Would you not return because you don't want to give community service? It just, the way just simply doesn't match up. She had a matter that she says was of imperative importance, and therefore why she thought it necessary to not wait on the passport, because she felt as though she could not wait on the passport to be released. She knew it would be released eventually, but she could not say with any level of certainty when it would be released and if it would allow her to meet the deadline for her personal activity that she needs to attend to.
And while the intention of the department, while police expected to charge Hartin for making a false declaration, there is not enough evidence to do so. Here is what Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told the media this afternoon about the charge being contemplated.
We're investigating that matter now with a view to see if charges can be brought against her for making a false declaration.
But she was arrested yesterday, so by tomorrow you'd have to come up with those charges or she'll be released?
Well, we are hoping that by the end of the day today, we should determine definitively if she'll be charged and what the charge is going to be.
Having conducted the investigation looking at the court order and its statements recorded, the department has established that there is insufficient evidence to prosecute Hartin for any offense, especially since the entire fine has been paid. Campo Williams told the media today via WhatsApp that while there were some discrepancies with the declaration, it was clear that Hartin was acting on the advice of her attorney. Hartin was released from the Corozal police station just before news time. Coming up next, Belize at 42, hope ignited, hands united, vision renewed. That's the theme for this year's September celebrations. Stay tuned.
If you're lucky, no matter what life hands you, you can always count on your closest friends to be there. Oh, thank you. My purse was exhausted. We are all blissfully unaware when our lives are about to change.
Life is full of surprises.
I'm ready to lose my virginity.
Excuse me? I got the list. What list?
There's a whole brouhaha at school about this MILF list.
For real?
Our lunchtime fodder is not usually this lowbrow, I swear.
Really? Who have you been eating with?
It's a big step up for Che and me.
I've been having exit out of grief sex. It's just sex.
Through all the chance that you've been out there, men have feelings too.
Life's too short not to try something new. And just like that, I realized some things are better left in the past. But maybe not everything.
I'm most pleased to report that the nation that we have been able to secure roughly $90 million for the construction of a new 150-bed modern national referral tertiary care hospital in Belize. Given the vulnerability of KHMH to hurricanes and floods, the strategic placement of this hospital in Babapan represents an important part of our climate resiliency building strategy in the provision of health care.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Education in Belize, like in many parts of the world, is transitioning from traditional way of learning to the adaptation of STEAM education, which focuses in areas of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Moving towards this model of education, Muffles College High School has incorporated more of STEAM education into its curriculum, and today the school hosted its very first exhibition showcasing works of first farm students utilizing programming and hardware interaction in technology.
The Muffles College auditorium was buzzing with activity this afternoon as parents and other students gathered to take part in the school's very first problem-solving skills exhibition, showcasing projects from first farm students utilizing microbit inventor kits. This forms part of the school's pilot this year to introduce problem-solving skills using technology.
Problem-solving skills is basically using technology to solve modern problems. Students learn how to create graphics, how to write codes, but a lot of them learn how to write codes without actually knowing programming language, so they use a lot of blocks in these. In Scratch, they're able to create graphics, they're able to create videos, they're able to create images, they could even create games, whether it's educational games or fun games. Today we have some of the fun games on display, but they have been using a lot of the educational games and a lot of the other type of games in their classrooms already. Next year, hopefully, with the microbit is a hardware that connects your thinking and your codes into an actual project itself. So for example, maybe I want my fans to come on at the night when I'm sleeping without actually going and touch a button. You could create the fan from scratch. Create everything from scratch and program it to work that way. There are others as well. You could create a motor that self-regulates. Here you see ultrasonic sensors. You see instruments that students have designed by cutting out the instruments, cutting out every single part from the lowest of starting points, and that's what our students learn in problem-solving skills. We learn how to use technology.
With technology constantly evolving around us, mathematics teacher at Muffles High School, Denzel Armstrong, says institutions must also adapt for the benefits of its students.
In the world, a lot of things are automated. If you go to the airport, you see you could just put your hands down there, the water pours automatically. We have similar tools here that allows our students to get into those kind of fields, to learn how to be the developers. So in the future, probably you don't have to go to outside technicians or have to buy expensive equipment. We have people right here, and our first farmers are doing it. So if they could do it, imagine what they could do 5 years from now, 10 years from now, using the same technology and what has been developed. So our first farmers could do these same things right here, right now. IT, traditional IT, is not going to be taught in schools several years from now. So this is a very innovative way to teach students how to still use technology. It's not going anywhere. We still need it. But what are these new ways that we could use it? And microbit and scratch are two of them.
Freshman students worked for several months to bring their ideas to life. And at the end, all the hard work and dedication put in could be seen in the elaborate booths, which showcased a wide range of innovative concepts brought to life. Javani and her group, for example, hope that their moisture detector in plants can someday benefit our agriculture sector, which has been greatly affected by climate change.
Our group has been working on this for a really long while, and we're really proud of our result. So basically, this device detects the moisture amount in water by getting the electrical current that's made by the moisture, because water conducts electricity very well. So the nails actually detect that, yes, and then it's transmitted to the microbit through the alligator clips. And then you can actually see that a number is shown, and that's the amount of electrical current that is gotten from the water.
Talk to us a little about some of the things that you guys used. I know that this is something new that you guys have been learning about.
Yeah, it is something new that we've been learning about, and the stuff that we used was the microbit, nails, recycled bottles, alligator clips, dirt, and water.
Now talk to us a little about the usefulness of something like this, not only for school, but, just every day.
Yeah, so we actually made this to help with the agricultural industry in Belize because, as you know, a lot of people here are farmers or things like that. And it's beneficial whether you just want to start a garden or if you're a farmer and you want to, excel in that. So this actually helps you because you might under or overwater your plants, and then that would definitely cause it to either die or have small fruits or just get sick, and that's not good. So what we're doing is we're trying to solve that problem because it is called problem-solving skills after all. So yes.
Talk to us about the experience for yourself and your group, throughout the entire process of getting this idea and now to the finished product, seeing it actually working.
So our experience was really nerve-wracking at some times, but it was also very exciting because we're learning something new, something that could be useful to us in the future, and that's always exciting.
Road safety and preventing vehicular collisions was the main driver for the next team, who worked on creating an ultrasonic proximity car alarm.
This is an ultrasonic proximity car alarm. It's another form of detecting distance using an ultrasonic sensor, and it's to be in a car and it detects the distance. For those who are modern cars, they have a camera built in already, and some people don't have it. So this is an alternative system, and it actually specifies the distance. Over here is a set distance in centimeters. Less than 5 centimeters and the alarm and red light is going to turn on. We had multiple ideas, we had them collided, we had them on a wheel of randomness, and we left our idea on randomness. We chose the top 3 from the random selection, and we decided to see how we'll plan it out, which one would go planned out best, which one would benefit our society. And this one seemed to be the true one that we were comfortable working with. And then we started getting our codes, our information, our parts and everything. Despite the delay in shipment every now and then, we were still able to get the sensor, we were still able to get whatever external parts we needed. We even sat down, we had help from many people who helped us design this. So together it was a group effort, apart from people of our family who assisted us in all of this, the decoration and so forth. It is all a true work of unity. When we are learning social studies, we learn sustainable development goals. When we are outside in the world, we hear news, we see car crashes, accidents that could be easily avoided. So taking that into consideration, we were like, we need something that fixes this. Obviously, the traffic rates and crashing rates would not lessen dramatically, but it will be a prevention.
Students were also tasked with creating a fun or educational game utilizing Scratch coding and programming.
Our project is basically a compass watch. We use a microbit to put, like, see, you have the directions there, you have east. You also can put it in your hand. Just frame it like this. This is our game. Our name for the game is Super Scratch Mario. This is like a recreation for a game, but it's like a jumping game. So we thought this was a fun game. Like Mario is my favorite game. It's like a fun game. So we thought like recreating that game, but in Scratch.
Was it difficult to actually get from start to now the finished product?
Yeah, it was difficult because we had a lot of problems with the internet at school, with the blogs. We don't know a lot of things. With this thing, we had a lot of problems too, because it's like sensible and it ripped, so we have to find things to fix it and everything.
So talk to us a little about some of the skills that you guys developed throughout the process, firstly with your project and also with the game.
So what I developed in my group is how to code a game, because we didn't done nothing about that, So we learn how to use the codes and put like the things. Also, we also learn how to use this. This like a microbit. We also learn how to code the microbit. We also had a hard time doing this because we didn't know the material to use because that. So our Scratch game, I feel like good because I know that my group made that game, and there's a lot of people coming to play that game, the teachers are asking too because they're curious. So this like attract your attention when you see this. You don't know what it is, so the teachers are asking what it is.
Today's open day also included an art exhibition created by freshman students. Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Ruiz.
Today's open day also included an art exhibition created by freshman students. Today, the Office of the Prime Minister announced that Attorney General Magali Marin Young will leave office at the end of June 2023 and return to private practice. The Office of the PM noted that Marin Young had indicated upon taking office that she would serve in that post for 2 years, and they are pleased that she stayed on for an additional 7 months to serve the nation and people. Her achievements in office were many, Positive changes were made during her tenure, including judicial reforms, legal reform, and law revision, and will be felt for years to come, as statement noted. In addition, the Office of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet extended gratitude to Maureen Young for her dedication to professionalism, good governance, and the sound leadership at the Attorney General's ministry, and wish her all success in her future endeavors. Today, the Rotary Club of Orange Walk officially handed over a very special mural to the Orange Walk Town Council as a sign of commitment to continued collaboration in our community through acts of service. The mural, located at the heart of Orange Walk Town, according to President of the club, John Burgos, focuses on the three main pillars of service, including education, health, and environment, while also helping to beautify our town.
We have always been a social partner with the town council, and we wanted to see how we can highlight and showcase and at the same time beautify our Orange Walk town. No? So we decided to do this mural, and as you can see, it features the three main areas that we do our community works, which is education, environment, and health. The concept was to basically highlight the three main areas that we do, and everything else we just try to encompass something that says Belize, nothing more significant than our national bird, the toucan, and of course we're in Lamanai, so you can see the crocodile at the bottom there. And then you can see our website too, where we encourage people to go visit our website so that they can learn more about what we can do and also support our fundraisers and community services projects. The main thing that we want is that the Rotary Club of Orange Walk is active. We want to increase the amount of projects that we do for the community. We want to continue doing bigger fundraisers. And this year we were able to do a grand raffle, which I can say we were able to raise over $15,000 for the club, which is going to be used to go right back into the community for projects. So we just wanted to be able to see and appreciate Orange Walk Club of Orange Walk.
To learn more about the Rotary Club of Orange Walk and the work they do in our community, you can visit their website at rotaryow.org. Hope Ignited, Hands United, Vision Renewed, Belize at 42. That's the theme for this year's September celebrations. The official announcement was made today during a short ceremony in Belize City hosted by the September Celebrations Commission through the National Institute for Culture and History, NICH. The winning team was selected from over 200 submissions made this year. The team this year was formed based on two submissions which were merged together to become one. This year's team, according to Minister of Education, Honorable Francis Fonseca, who is also chair of the September Celebrations Commission, was selected because of its most accurate representation of Belize's current mood.
I believe this team accurately captures and reflects the mood of the Belizean people as we prepare to celebrate the 42nd anniversary of our nation's independence. Our beautiful nation, of course, continues to face serious social and economic challenges. Yet, our people remain strong, resilient, and hopeful. We recognize that if Belize is to grow and flourish into the dynamic, prosperous country we all want to see, then we must have a shared vision for the future. And our hands must be united as we work to achieve that vision. These celebrations are about our people and for our people. We are proud of our harmonious cultural and ethnic diversity. In his address at Independence Hill on September 21st, 1981, national hero and father of the nation, George Price described Belize as a Caribbean and Central American nation which works and lives a revolution that is peaceful, constructive, new, progressive, and Belizean. It is our own, he said, with all our national attributes of nationhood, having one flag, one government, and one constitution. Our mind imbues the democratic process. Our heart beats with social justice, and our soul cherishes treasures of the spirit.
The two winners of this year's September team competition are Dalila Mitchell Moreno and Jose Avila. Both were awarded with cash prizes. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, June 8th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at Facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.